All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your AEW Full Gear Review for November 18th, 2023. I thought it was about an average show, just above average. Give it about a 6 out of 10. Best match easily of the night goes to the Texas Death Match between Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. Guys killed in that match, and heading into the pay-per-view, I thought that was the best storyline going into it. That one and Edge and Christian. Yeah, they killed it in the main event, or it wasn't the main event. It was the third last match. It was probably the best, easily the best death match they've done, hands down. Worst match was probably go with the Young Bucks versus Golden Jets, Jericho and Omega. I missed most of that match, but apparently it wasn't even that good. I saw like the last half of it, but I didn't really care for it because it was like thrown together last minute, and not a fan of the Elite. Any of the other guys in the Elite. It's not really intriguing. They put on great matches, but really no storylines, no character, no charisma, nothing with those guys. So I didn't really care for that match. And yeah, so I give it 6 out of 10. Best match was the Texas Death Match. Worst match was Jericho guys versus the Young Bucks. We got two new champions in the women's division, Tony Storm and Julia Hart. And then we got Will Ospreay joining AEW. Just not really a fan of that guy. Sure, he's a talented guy in the ring, but what's his like character? What's his gimmick? Really hard to figure out. So yeah, but I thought it was about an average show for the pay-per-view. All right, let's get to it. First match, we got the six-man tag. Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne versus Edge, Sting, and Darby Allin. I thought this was kind of cool. You had Sting with the full face paint. Darby Allin always has a half face paint. And then you got Edge. I don't think I've ever seen him with the black and white face paint before. He might have worn it during his entrances before. Don't think he has. I don't think so. Yeah, this might be this is probably the first time he's worn face paint, I guess, for a match. So I thought that was kind of cool. He had his on the right side, Darby's on the left side, and then Sting had the full face paint. I thought that was kind of dope. All right, so Christian Cage tags in, and then Edge tags in. So it looks like they're about to attack each other. Fans are like clapping and cheering and stuff. It's about to happen. And typical heel move. Christian Cage tags out. He tags a big man in, Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus, he he hit a Darby Allin with a brutal chokeslam on the apron. I thought he might have injured his back or whatever. This guy Darby Allin, he takes brutal bumps, man. I don't know how much longer his career is gonna last, man. Taking bumps like this. Good grief, man. So later on in the match, Edge gets a tag. He pretty much cleans house. Sting and Edge both hit a death drop, Scorpion death drop combo. Sting like had the guy in the move for the death drop, and then Edge went to the top rope and he hit like an elbow. So they did like a combo move of the death drop. Christian Cage low blow Ric Flair, and then Ric Flair started he started chopping Christian Cage or whatever, and then Christian low blow Flair, and then Christian nailed Luchasaurus with the TNT title by accident after Edge moved, and then Edge chased Christian Cage. Christian ran through the crowd and he ran out the building, and then it was just a handicap match pretty much. Edge, Sting, and Darby Allin got the win. So we'll see how next week how Christian Cage explains on Dynamite why he left the match. I guess to Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne. He left his sons out there. Remember, he's their father. He left his sons out there to fend for themselves. And then yeah, so I thought it was a solid opening match. Not too bad. All right, next up we got a segment on the stage with so early on the night after MJF and so Samoa, he ended up choosing Samoa Joe apparently for his partner to defend the titles. So MJF and Samoa Joe won the match. So Samoa Joe left, and then I didn't watch the pre-show, so I'm just reviewing what they showed during the pay-per-view. So after the match, they showed the guns. They attacked MJF, pretty much injured his leg or whatever, his thigh part of his leg. So yeah, and then MJF got put in an ambulance, and he's like yelling at Adam Cole, "Hey Adam, don't let him take my title," or whatever. Adam Cole was all like sad and stuff, and he was like, confused, he didn't know what to do. After the EMTs took MJF to the hospital in the ambulance. So we got this segment now. Tony Schiavone introduced Jay White, and he was about to. So he said the match has been canceled. Tony Khan canceled the match, and he was about to award the world title to Jay White, and then Adam Cole's music hits, baby. So Adam Cole comes out there. He's like, "Oh, I'll defend the world title on Max's behalf." So we got Jay White versus Adam Cole in the main event. Adam Cole's pretty much on one leg, so that's gonna be the main event. All right, next up we got the international championship match between Orange Cassidy and John Moxley. Orange Cassidy hit a superplex, and then Moxley hit the RKO. Orange Cassidy pretty much hit multiple orange punches. I think he hit like 5 or 6 for the punches for orange punches for the win. So he gets his win back over over John Moxley. So yeah, he's probably gonna get another like long title run. He pretty much can. This is pretty much their version of the Intercontinental title that Gunther has. So he's gonna go on like a Gunther run again, like he did before he lost the title, because he had it forever. And this title is pretty much irrelevant. He just has random matches and he keeps winning. No storyline, nothing with this title. Didn't really care for the title or in this match, but whatever. Orange Cassidy wins. Tony Storm won the women's titles, the TBS. No, it was the other one, I think. No. She won one of the women's titles. I forgot which one it was. I think it was like the regular women's title, whatever it's called, the TNT women's title. I don't even know what the hell it's called. Yeah, so she won that. We got a new champion. We don't really care for it. All right, next up we got the 4-way tag team ladder match for the tag titles. FTR versus Starks and Big Bill versus House of Black, Malachi Black and Brody King, and then it was Rush or Roosh or whatever his name is, and Dralistico, whatever his name is. So Dax Harwood, he superplexed Starks on everyone outside the ring. And then Dax put a ladder on his shoulders. He pretty much used it like a helicopter and just attacking whoever was in the ring. There's back and forth. I think he hit everybody with the ladder. And then later on in the match, there was a ladder leaning against the ropes. Malachi like slingshotted the ropes with the ladder on it, and it went into Cash Wheeler. I don't think I've ever seen that type of move in a ladder match before. And then Cash Wheeler hit a Malachi Black with a pile driver on the ladder. The ladder was like in the corner of the ring. And later on in the match, Brody King, he started climbing the ladder. And then he was about halfway up the ladder. Big Bill showed up in the ring, and he lifted he lifted the ladder with Brody on it, and then there was the same ladder in the corner, so he lifted the ladder with Brody King on it, and then Brody went into the chair or into the ladder. I mean, my bad. It was pretty much on the ground or whatever, and then what was it? They set up a hold on. I think Big Bill he threw what's this Dralistico into the ladder, and then pretty much or was it Big Bill that threw him in? I can't remember, but yeah, the champions retain. Ricky Starks grabbed both the belts, so they're still your tag team champions are Ricky Starks and Big Bill. So those this is probably maybe second or third best match of the night behind the Deathmatch. Not sure where this one ranks, but it was in the top 3 easily. Next up, we got Julia Hart. She wins I think, yeah, it was the TBS Women's title, I think, against Sky Blue and Statlander. So looks like this. Sure, Statlander probably get a rematch, so it'll be Statlander versus Julia later down the line. Maybe the next pay-per-view, that World's End pay-per-view in December, end of the year. And she's only like 22 years old. She said in the press conference, that's pretty young to win a championship already in wrestling. So good on her, I guess. All right, next up we got. Oh, my bad. Hold on, I already did that one. I don't know why when I minimize the picture, it's the different one, and then when I make it full screen, it's the segment I'm talking about. All right, so we got there was rumors of a big signing. It could have been either Ronda Rousey. She showed up at a random show. Mercedes, was it Sasha Banks or Will Ospreay? But it ended up being Will Ospreay. He's still under contract with New Japan, they said, and then or he said on the mic, he's like, by the time we get to Revolution, I'll be all yours. I'll be all elite. He just got talented guy in the ring, but I don't know what the hell his character is, what his gimmick is. Just another guy who does like random moves, I guess. I don't know. I don't really see the big deal with him. Just whatever. All right. Next up, we got the Texas Death Match. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. This was a brutal, brutal match. I don't know how the hell these guys are gonna survive. I doubt they're gonna be on Dynamite this week after this brutal match. Barbaric. But yeah, so Swerve comes out there. Prince Nana, he had a crew of dancers with him doing his dance. So I thought that was hilarious. This dude is hilarious. Prince Nana. You had some people in the crowd doing his little dance. He does that side to side when the beat drops in Swerve's song. So Swerve comes out there. And then Hangman Page pretty much just like bum rushes to the ring. No music. He just starts attacking Swerve Strickland. Page threw a chair right into Swerve's head. Remember, this guy went into Hangman's house, so he's pissed off Hangman Page. And then Adam Page brought duct tape. He brought a duct tape into the ring and a stapler, whatever it was. So he duct taped Swerve Strickland's hands, so he couldn't pretty much do anything with his hands. And then he used a staple gun like multiple times. He like used it on his chest like 3 times. Then he hit his face, each side of his face. And then after that, this sick freak, he started drinking the guy's bleed. He tilted Swerve's head into him, and then he waited for the blood to drip off of Swerve Strickland's face, and he started drinking his blood. This guy's trying to. He started turning to Moxley when I saw this. Sick freak, man. Trying to drink the guy's blood and stuff. All right, so Swerve. So later on in the match, he started stapling himself, and then Adam Page, he like stapled him and it wasn't affecting him, so he no-sold it. And then he put and then Swerve Strickland put barbed wire onto Page. And then he eventually got a cinder block. He put it on the apron and he put Hangman Page through the cinder block. That was brutal. And then Adam Page tombstoned Swerve on a steel chair. Swerve hit a power bomb onto the chair there with the barbed wire wrapped around it. Then he did the double stomp. That's in the photo right there. Onto the barbed wire chair. And then he got a 2 count with that. Or no, there wasn't no pinfall. The only way he could win was either KO or 10 count. And then Swerve, he put glass. I thought it was when he brought the bag out, it was thumbtacks in it. That's usually indicates as thumbtacks, but he put glass onto Hangman Page's back, and he did a 450 on his back. That was insane. And then he got up yeah, so Hangman Page got up after that. I don't know how. And then Swerve Strickland put like a so he set up two chairs in the ring, and there was like a board with it wasn't that heavy of a board, and it was wrapped around in barbed wire. And he put him between the two chairs. It looked like he was gonna put Swerve was gonna put Page through it, but Page countered into a power bomb, so he power bombed him through the board that was wrapped in barbed wire, and then he hit the buckshot lariat. And then all of a sudden, Brian Cage, he comes out of nowhere. He starts attacking Page with a barbed wire or with the random attacks, and then Page got uh he wrapped his hand around a barbed wire and he nailed Brian Cage with it like 2-3 times. And then there was a table set up. Prince Nana and I think Brian Cage before this set up a table, and Hangman Adam Page he put he put Prince Nana through the table, but before he put him through the table, he started doing his stupid dance. He wanted Hangman Page to do this stupid dance. This man is a fool, man. That was hilarious. I can't believe he did that. And then yeah, so Page put him through the table with a dead eye move. And then Swerve, he grabbed an I don't know where he got another cinder block from under the ring, I guess. They didn't show where he got it from. So I'm just assuming he got it from there. And Swerve he bashed Hangman Page the back of his head with the cinder block. And then yeah, so after that, I thought it was over. Hangman Page got up again, and then this time he Swerve Strickland grabbed like a long chain from under the ring, and he wrapped it around Hangman's neck, and then he wrapped the other part of the other side of the chain. He wrapped it on the metal pole, the steel pole, whatever, and he started pulling on it, and that's how Swerve Strickland wins. I was pretty shocked. I thought Hangman Page was gonna win because I thought it could have been 1-1, and then going into the third match, a rubber match, Swerve would win 2-1, but looks like this feud is over between Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page, and Swerve's gonna move on to another feud. So yeah, but this match was just insane, man. The blood and all the spots they did with the barbed wire and the glass and the cinder blocks. Good grief, man. These guys killed each other, man. Hell of a match. All right, next up we got the tag title match with Jericho and Omega versus the Young Bucks. Jericho and Omega win, so since they won, they get the Young Bucks title shot. I don't know when that tag title match is gonna be against Big Bill and Ricky Starks. And then after the match, Young Bucks like started complaining and started just pretty much throwing a fit, like little kids or whatever, just chucking stuff everywhere. But yeah, just don't really care for that match. No build up at all for that. Barely any. All right, next up we got the main event. It was going to be Adam Cole versus Jay White, but it wasn't going to be that. It was pretty obvious that MJF was going to come back. So MJF, you hear a siren or whatever, and it's MJF. He's like driving the ambulance, and he hops out of it, and it's going to be now it's MJF versus Jay White. Where's that? Let's go with that one. All right, so we got MJF versus Jay White for the AEW World Title. Guns are out there. They're attacking MJF while the ref turn around and is distracted by Jay White. And eventually they kept interfering too much, and the ref saw this, and he tosses the guns out of the ring, or pretty much out from ringside. And MJF throughout the match was selling his injury. Pretty good selling by MJF throughout the match. Very rare to see that nowadays during matches. It's pretty much about moves now, wrestling instead of characters and storytelling. So I thought that was good by MJF. So Jay White hit MJF with a Uranagi for a 2 count. MJF hit Jay White with a DDT. He put Jay White onto the table, and he put MJF onto the announce table, and it broke. He put Jay White onto the announce table. It just broke, and he didn't even do a move. Because as soon as he put him on it broke, and then he went to the top rope and hit an elbow drop from the top rope to the outside. He still did the spot he was supposed to do through the table. That looked brutal. Looked like MJF might have undershot the elbow and he almost hit the ground instead of Jay White's chest. So he could have hurt himself. He had a little had yeah, so he could have hurt himself. He didn't hit Jay White. I thought he barely got to him. He did the elbow like Shawn Michaels used to do back in the day, where he would swing the elbow all the way up. And then Jay White hit a Uranagi from the top rope on Max. MJF hit a tombstone, and then MJF in the picture there hit an RKO. Shout out to Randy Orton's coming back next week at Survivor Series. So he hit the RKO over the top rope to the outside. Jay White he applied the figure four on MJF. So they started teasing here. Adam Cole, he had like the towel in his hand. They were teasing that he was going to throw the towel in, but he didn't. And then MJF ended up countering the figure four. So now he's got the pretty much the reverse figure four on and Jay White. Jay White gets to the ropes. Adam Cole looks like he's gonna hit Jay White with one of the ROH titles, but he goes to hit him, and then Jay White blocks the attack. And then he hits MJF with a belt. He gets a 2 count, and then Adam Cole puts the Dynamite Diamond ring down into the ring. Jay White gets the ring. He's about to hit Max with it. Typical MJF. The scumbag hits a low blow. And then, yeah, so he hits the low blow on Jay White. And then MJF hits Jay White with the Dynamite Diamond ring. And he wins the match. This was pretty predictable. MJF wasn't going to lose to Jay White. But yeah, I thought this was either the second best match or the third best match on the show behind the death match. But yeah, overall, I thought it was about just above average pay-per-view. Really only cared about 2 or 3 of the matches. Death match, the 6-man tag in the beginning of the show with the Edge, Sting, and Christian guys, and then the main event, I guess. But this didn't really feel like a main event feud because Jay White's not like a top guy in my eyes. Just terrible on the. He's okay in the ring, but he's just not a good talker on the mic, and he's not really that big. And on like the depth chart in AEW up there with the other big names, just don't see the big deal with him. But yeah, it was only a good thing because of it. But really, because really only cared about this match because MJF was in it. He's their big guy, their face of the company, I guess, their big star. But yeah, overall, I thought it was just an okay pay-per-view. Best match was Death Match, was a Texas Death Match, and then worst match was the Young Bucks versus Jericho and Omega. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for AEW Full Gear. See ya.